Yo, what's going on? You already know how we doing. What's up with my prayer love family? You know what I'm talking about? Happy B-Day to me. You know, I ain't on the ground, don't stop for nothing, bro. It don't matter what day it is, what time it is. Well, look, you already know I got the I Am Q Health videos coming. He gonna show us some TikToks, see what's going on out here right now. Let's check in. Go subscribe and like this channel. I Am Q Health. Let's check him out though. See what's going on out here.
Am I not on it yet? Y'all let me know. I think it's in the brain, I think it's in us. I think it's if you can unlock it or not. And I think it comes when you meditate. That's what I think. Maybe dreaming and meditation. That's the only two ways I can see it going down. A deep ass meditation. I don't know. Y'all let me know if it's a reach. Spam it up.
Hey y'all, remember I've been saying the shift is here? Well, it's literally here. Japan, the country that is known for rice, has officially run out of rice. They are literally tapping into their reserves, like the things that you tap into during the times of war and national crisis. Now, when it comes to Japan and rice, it's not just about food. This is sacred. This is tradition that has been passed down for centuries. Rice is used in offerings, prayers, weddings, all kinds of ceremonies. And to further add more injury to insult, the elders that are currently maintaining the rice fields, they're getting old, they're getting ready to transcend to the next life. And the younger generation, they're chasing screen times and salaryman job, and they don't want to work in the fields. They don't want to be out in the sun. They want to be in the AC. So now you have nobody to tend to the fields. So guess what? No rice. This is not the first time nor the second time that Japan has tapped into its reserve. They said this is the third time, and this is most likely the last because they have nobody else to tend to the fields. So what does this tell you guys? Is this like a collapse of identity in a sense? Because this is traditions that's passed down. So now you got nobody else to pass it down to. What's next? So yeah, y'all, I think that shift is here. Let me know what you guys think about this video. Let's continue to get it, y'all. Peace in.
I think the word is evolution. They're evolving. They're changing. Nothing's wrong.
So a plane just fell out the sky in Boca Raton. As you can see by this picture. It tried to land on the highway where it burst into flames, y'all. We just had an incident with a helicopter in New York that crashed in the Hudson River because the helicopter fell apart in the sky. The video of the plane looks something straight out of a movie. I'm not going to show because you know how TikTok be. A Cessna took off from Boca, which was supposed to be a normal flight to Tallahassee. But 10 minutes in the flight, the pilot radios in that it's a mechanical failure. So he tried to turn the plane around, but it was already too late. That plane, it came down hard, y'all. It landed on the highway, burst into a fireball. 3 people were on board, all gone. The plane ended up hitting a car, as you can see right there, would burst into flames, but the driver made it out alive. It's crazy, y'all. Another mechanical failure. Was that the same thing that happened with that helicopter? I'm starting to think that they got a kill switch. I'm not saying that's what happened, but just think about it. All these planes falling out the sky, colliding into each other. What is really going on? Life be fragile. One minute you flying high, the next one you going bye-bye. Condolence once again to the people who lost their life and the people who was affected by this.
I just about jumped out of bed when I found out what this movie was actually about. So him follows this new football player who's being coached by an aging football player on the team. And they're inside this secluded training camp. And immediately when I looked at this, I felt like this was body horror. I felt like the football was made out of human skin and that's why there's blood. I also thought about the athletes that were concussed and went crazy and ended their whole family. I feel like something like that could be incorporated. This is Jordan Peele, so I feel like anything's on the table. I've also heard people say maybe he has to sacrifice himself or others and able to be on the team. And you know, people talk about rituals with the elite, so I think it'd be so cool to have a movie focused on this, especially one focused on athletes versus like singers, influencers, actors. I'm also like, could the quarterback who's leaving, that's like training him, be the center of this cult? Maybe he's being like worshipped, or maybe he's like Diddy, or he's in too deep and he's warning him. This movie has so much potential, and I know Jordan Peele won't let us down. He's the producer on this. He put his like green stamp on it, so I'm expecting great things, and I'm sure he'll deliver. He always come over here for longer freaky videos.
Oh my god, oh my god, look you guys. Oh my god.
Hả? Cô Long ở chùa này chưa cô Long ạ? Cô Long một dạo chưa?
Cái luôn rồi nè.
Still planning your day in the Stone Age? Well, we've evolved beyond pen and paper to schedules.
Hey, that's a rabbit hole I didn't know. I didn't know they did that to what, I can't say the word, but what they be drinking. That's crazy. So if they doing that to, if they did that then, what's, because there's sometimes I see comments of people saying ain't nothing wrong with the tap water. You can go even deeper. If they did that to, in the Prohibition era, they'd do that to the water, our tap water. That's the water we shower with. That's the water, bro, that's the water you brush your teeth with. If they doing that to that, what they doing? We already know what they doing to the food, so that ain't even a question. But just it confirms all the shit that we always keep saying and the little things we get to see. Shit crazy, bro. Shit crazy. I wonder what was they. I know the reasoning behind the prohibition. Spam it up, man. Let me know in the comments what y'all feel. More rabbit holes we can dive down. More conspiracy theories that I ain't even know about. Spam it up, man. Let's go as deep as possible. Y'all let me know if y'all ready for that.
So I can't say it, but I'm telling you, I know what's going to happen next. How much metal you have in your body will affect you when this thing happens. It has to do with frequency. Okay, so that I stay safe, that I can come back, and I stay alive, I want to tell you something. I will give you a hint to what he showed me. It's going to happen, and you have to get rid of these metals in your body. And it could happen tomorrow. It could happen, but they're going to say it's something else. You're going to have to do your own thinking about this. I don't want to get in trouble, but just stick a piece of foil in a microwave, and picture that in your body. And now,
Chlorophyll, chlorophyll, chlorophyll.
The darkest conspiracy theories. The Hollow Earth Theory. The Hollow Earth Theory is a captivating concept that suggests the Earth is not solid but rather hollow, with openings at the poles leading to a mysterious inner realm. Proponents of this theory believe that within the Earth's core exists a hidden civilization, possibly more advanced than our own. They argue that ancient cultures like the Mayans and Egyptians possessed knowledge of this inner world, as depicted in their intricate artworks and texts. One of the most intriguing aspects of the hollow Earth theory is the idea of a central sun. Instead of our familiar sun, supporters propose that a miniature sun exists at the center of the Earth, providing light and warmth to the inner inhabitants. Evidence cited for this theory includes anomalous compass readings near the poles, strange seismic activity, and alleged sightings of UFOs entering and exiting the Earth through polar openings. Some even speculate that mythical lands like Atlantis and Shambhala might be located within the hollow Earth, serving as sanctuaries for advanced civilizations throughout history.
It be stuff like this that really makes you wonder, is there more to our buildings than we think there?
Alright, y'all check out IMQ Health, man. You already know. Subscribe to the channel. Black Balloon's got a new video. He talking about clones again.
Hey, what is going on with y'all, man? It is Black Balloon, and I'm coming back with another video.
Whatever, man.
So, y'all already know what's going on. Alright, y'all. Now, today, as y'all could tell by the title of this video and this very weird looking guy we have on the screen, we're gonna dig into Clonaid. So, yes, you know, you could call this a part 2 to the last video we did about soul trafficking and clones, right? Now, in this video, we'll pretty much follow the same format as we did in the last. Got a couple of interesting clips that I want to show y'all, and we'll dig more into the company that is called Clonaid. If I'm not mistaken, they are still active in the Bahamas now, as the owner was basically forced out of America and she kept her company running in another country, which I now believe is the Bahamas. We're gonna get into her, definitely, because they basically called Clonaid and the people who were associated with it fake scientists, a cult-like group, because they had their own beliefs, their own teachings, and it was just a lot of stuff that was going on around the time that Dolly the sheep was cloned. Now, it's very interesting the fact that Dolly was cloned, I think, in '96. Almost exactly a year later, Clonaid pops up. So I thought the timing of that was very interesting. Now, the reason I have this guy on the screen is because a lot of young people, or just people in general, hadn't heard of Clonaid until he popped up. And when he first started talking about being a clone, you know, being a Gen 2 clone and stuff, you know, he was just saying things that people had never heard. You know, a lot of people tossed it up to, you know, this guy's just trying to get clout for rapping. You know, he's jumped into the industry. He's trying to get his name out there. And if that was the case, it worked. His name was Kid.
My favorite part of Job Corps is trade. My trade is culinary. I chose Job Corps, obviously.
Boo.
I guess you were born in Jersey?
Yeah.
I remember this.
Originally, my first gen. I'm a second gen now. That's why you see the celebrity bursts say I'm born in Toronto, but that's false. My first gen was born in Jersey. However, I was cloned by Clonaid in Canada. My model number is 0112568, if anyone wants to see the registration in Clonaid.
Okay. So then you ended up in South Florida?
Yeah.
Okay. And what nationality are you?
Sicilian and Puerto Rican.
Okay. Sicilian and Puerto Rican. Okay.
Yeah.
I can see that now.
Those are my
up.
two genomes.
Okay. So who's the Puerto Rican one? Who's the Sicilian one?
When I was cloned, they wiped a lot of memory, but when I stole the documents before escaping, I read that the mother was Puerto Rican and I guess the father, the surrogate, you could say, was the sperm donor was the Sicilian.
Bro,
okay, so you were a test tube baby.
Yeah.
That's what's up.
I do remember this stuff.
That's what's up. And I guess you have a fraternal twin.
Yep.
Brother or sister?
Brother.
Okay. So you guys, fraternal twins, is different from identical twins. So do you guys look kind of similar or not really?
I don't think anyone looks as similar as me.
Okay.
Shout out Clonaid.
What's that?
Shout out Clonaid.
Yeah. Well, you could actually, as soon as you die, they could actually freeze your body.
Well, what happened with my first gen is they took the skull, because he initially had written in a will to the Raelian movement that if something were to happen to him, they can ship the skull over immediately to Clonaid. So they can remove a fragment of bone that's located here. And in this fragment of bone, it stores all of your memories and consciousness. And with that, they can make a sufficient replica of yourself, a reproductive version of you, including your memories. And you can be selective as to which ones you keep or don't keep. And this process has been around for quite some time. Like Dolly the sheep was cloned back in, I think, the late 70s, early 80s, if I'm not mistaken.
Dolly the sheep, yeah, I remember that. And they've cloned a lot of animals over the years.
Yeah, Clonaid, I don't want to say too much information. This is going to be broadcasted on the internet.
But I don't think they could transfer the actual memories, though.
Yeah.
Yeah?
Yeah.
You're living proof of this?
Yeah, I'm living proof. Except all the memories. A lot of them I don't have because of drugs and alcohol I abused as a teenager. So it's kind of like burning an MP3 CD, right? So let's say, we don't do this, people don't do this anymore, but back in the day, you would bootleg a CD, you would need the original copy. You put it in, it reads the disc, transfers all the files. You have the same exact CD, it's the same thing. All the tracks, everything, every bar, every hit from every note, everything's gonna be on there. Now, if I scratch that CD, I may not be able to read all the files on the disc, making it impossible to transfer and make a new one, a new copy. I think it's amazing that they even were able to make Gucci Man.
Right, because they cloned him.
Yeah, I don't know if Clonaid did. I'm pretty sure that was done from a separate company, but yeah, clearly.
Right. Everyone was saying he was cloned as soon as he got out of jail. He looked different. He talked different.
Yeah, even his teeth, smile.
Right, he was smiling a lot more.
Yeah, he did, definitely. I like Gucci. I like new Gucci. I like second gen Gucci.
But something that was very real was the company that he talked about, where he came from, which was Clonaid, saying that they are the ones who were responsible for cloning him. And he came out on record and said this. So yes, this guy put a lot of people on to what Clonaid was. And even when I was, doing some deep searching and going back to some really old interviews and clips from Clonaid, a lot of people in the comments were like, if you're here from Kid Boo's Instagram Live or Vlad TV YouTube video like this, whatever. And these were 6, 7, 8 years ago as far as the comments. I think maybe 6 or 7 years ago, right? Now, by the time I put this video out, I'm not sure if I'll be able to actually show his face during that Vlad TV interview, because whoever his agents are, his company, whatever, they copyright everything. I may have to cover that up, but by the time it comes out, I guess we'll see. So he talked about the Raelian movement and he talked about Clonaid. Now, these two are the heads of the Raelian movement and Clonaid. The lady to the left is like the mad scientist. Maybe the guy to the right is a scientist as well. They're into all kinds of stuff. Basically, I guess, immortality, in a sense, is what their entire movement, Clonaid, is about. They look like mad scientists. Of course, in America, they
look crazy.
Deemed them to have no credentials, like I said earlier in the video.
Well, we're going to continue our discussion of the concept of human cloning today. Joining us in our studio and testifying on the Hill today is Bridget Boisselier, who is scientific director for a private company called Clonaid. Thank you for joining us.
Thank you for the invitation.
Sure. Tell us first what Clonaid is and what the company is working on right now.
Okay, so Clonaid is a private company. We founded that 4 years ago, got the fundings to really have lab last August. And so now we have 3 scientists working almost full-time in a lab here in the United States with the major goal for us to produce a human embryo by human cloning.
Why do you want to do it?
There are several reasons. The first one is that why am I doing it myself? It's just because I think I had to do it. 4 years ago, when I heard all the establishment saying this is so bad and all these things, I said I have to do it and show that this is only a baby. A little baby, the belated twin of an individual, and that's it. It's not a monster, it's not all, you know, what we have been hearing so many bad things about this baby. And so we decided to do that 4 years ago. Now we are on the verge to have this first embryo.
And when do you suspect it will happen?
And this is when.
I don't want to be rushed into saying dates. What I'm saying is that we are in the process of doing it. We will check every possible defects before, so we'll need to make sure that the embryo is completely viable and before doing any implantation. So the soonest we could have an implantation is mid-April. It could be in a year from now, because we want to make sure that this baby is completely and perfectly healthy.
As we did yesterday with our segment on human cloning, we'll be taking plenty of calls over these next 40 minutes, and we will leave the phone numbers on the bottom of the screen for Democrats, Republicans, and others. Our guest for this segment is Bridget Boisselier, who is a scientific director for a company called Clonaid, also is a visiting assistant professor of chemistry at Hamilton College up in New York State, and we'll point out that she has a PhD in physical chemistry, PhD in analytical chemistry, and you are from France, correct?
Right.
And working here in the U.S. now. You're going to be testifying on Capitol Hill today at a hearing that we will be covering on this issue. What are you going to say?
I'm going to talk about the babies. I'm going to talk about the parents to be, and the father of the baby who are trying to clone, and what are his motivation. And I will read a very moving letter from him to the congressman. I will also talk about my motivation and how dedicated I am to this project, whether it's done here or abroad. We will have to move. If there is any bad decision in the Congress today or in the coming future, we will have to move, but we'll move. We will not quit the project. So that's basically what I'm going to say. And I will also...
Do you really want to spend the rest of your life watching ads?
This lady is literally sitting here talking about cloning babies.
Address basic freedom. Freedom of science inquiry and freedom of reproduction and choice of reproduction for any individual.
As we mentioned, it's a House subcommittee hearing. We'll cover it on tape due to the length of the House and Senate sessions today being live, and I'll get you an airtime on this hearing once we can figure out our overnight program schedule. We have calls coming in for Bridget.
Her clone baby, a boy who was born to a Japanese couple. And if I'm not mistaken, it was either this family or another family that paid them $200,000 to $500,000 to clone their deceased child who they had lost. Wow. So they were actually getting money and a lot of inquiries from couples and people who wanted cloned children. This is real. None of this is made up. And if I'm not mistaken, even more mockery, I think they said one of them was born in Israel. And when they went to court here in the U.S., obviously they didn't have any jurisdiction to go after them because they were taking the necessary steps.
Bro, they are cloning, man. We gon'... You already know I got Common Kinfo in here in the mix. So y'all remember Gangsta Woo?
Here's how to never have to worry about money after a car accident. Listen, if you have been in a car accident and
you know, he gonna
yes, sir.
Break it down into detail.
Now today, we gonna talk about.
Do with skull and bones.
You are
It's
going
like
to see
else.
a lot of rituals.
Let's see.
By the numbers this year. Now let's get into it.
This was 20.
Now, the dead giveaway
2023, right?
That this was indeed a ritual by the numbers was because in the headlines, they said Memphis rapper Gangsta Boo found dead at 43. And what's so crazy about that? Found dead equals 43 in reverse full reduction, just like killing. Now, if you don't understand what you're looking at, this is the practice of Gematria, turning letters into their numerical value. A is 1, B is 2, C is 3. It's that simple, right? These reduction ciphers are the same concept. The only difference, you're reducing the double digits to single digits. That's all that's going on in this scripted news, this scripted media. Everything is being done by this numerical system. Now, with that being said, now we already see these synchronicities between killing and found dead, as she was found dead at the age of 43. Now, also with that killing and found dead also equals 38 in forwards reduction. Just like Gangsta Boo equals 38 as well, right? The Memphis rapper, when Memphis also equals 38, murder equals 38. Murder by numbers. This is exactly what's going on.
I dare you to let me build you a completely free e-commerce store, preload.
Once again, Gangsta Boo found dead. It's a reason why they're telling you these things that they're telling you. Gangsta Boo and found dead. Both equal 169 in the English language in reverse. C is 1, A is 26. And these things just happen to sync up with the person they're telling you about. It's always this way. It does not change. Now, what's interesting, if we take the day that Gangsta Boo was born, August 7th, 1979, and we take it to the day that she passed away, January 1st, 2023, we have a span of 520 months when Gangsta Boo equals 52 in reverse full reduction, right? Numerology rules dropping at 0. So you have that 5 and you have that 2. Now, what's also interesting about that name, because this is how they're taking these people out, right? By their stage names and their real names and the day that they was born. It's all this stuff circulates around. It's those three things right there. But come on. Gangsta Boo, if you take it in simple English gematria, A is 1, B is 2, C is 3. Gangsta Boo equals 101 in the ordinal cipher. Just like how she passed away on 1/1. Remember, numerology rules that 0 is dropped. So we get that 1 and that 1 in her stage name with her passing away on 1/1. Her death is also on the 11th day of Big Scar's death, another Memphis artist.
I remember that.
Just like Gangsta Boo was. Her death also comes 11 days before her former label mate, her former group member, DJ Paul's birthday. So you know DJ Paul is connected to this ritual with him being the one that confirmed her passing first. Right? This is the group that she was a part of, 3-6 Mafia. Does that name not speak for itself? But come on. Right? Now this comes when DJ Paul is 45 years old. Keep in mind that Gangsta Boo also passed away on 45 date numerology. January 1st plus 20 plus 23. We get 45. Just like ritual equals 45. But also with that word ritual, it's also interesting that her death comes 27 years after 3 6 Mafia's first studio album, when once again ritual equals 27. Especially with a name like 3 6 Mafia. Knowing the longevity that these people had in Hollywood, rituals, sacrifices have to occur. These people are going to pass away in connection to the group, to the frequency that they put out in their music. And this is no different. Once again, if we take this very first studio album, Gangsta Boo passes away 1,439 weeks later. Now that's a special number, with it being a prime number. A prime number is a number that can only go into itself and the number 1. So we get the 228th prime number, just like death equals 228 in English Sumerian, the English language multiplied by 6. 3 6 Mafia. This is why this cipher is important. But come on.
We get you an Apex or Top Step funded payout guaranteed, and you don't pay us a single penny until you do.
I mean,
Right?
they put it right there.
Now let's hit on the number for dishonesty for a second. Because it not only applies to, once again, DJ Paul. And like I told you, the skull and bones, right? That looked like a skull and bones tattoo on his neck. But we're gonna see. We're gonna see. Right? But with him being born on January 12th, right? 1/12. Remember, we take these people's birthdays before the death and after the death. So if we take DJ Paul's birthday before the death, right? She passed away 11 months and 2 weeks after his birthday, which was on 1/12, 112, the number for dishonesty, 112.
I thought it was on 132 though.
Gangsta Boo also passed away 31 weeks and 1 day before her upcoming birthday this year. Just like, once again, the number for dishonesty in reverse, 311. So did she pass away? These are the questions we have to ask. Or is this just another character removal? I guess we'll never know. But come on.
That's crazy work.
Once again, with the number for dishonesty, her day of birth, August 7th, 1979. If we add that up, it also equates to 113, the number for dishonesty. Let's look at some other words that are involved with the number for dishonesty, right? Green screen, broadcasting, mainstream, perjury, not factual, not true, dishonest, divorce, bullshit, politics, illusions, disinfo, fiction, and not honest. Let's check out some other things that revolve with the number for dishonesty. The National Basketball Association equals 113. The top players, Michael Jordan, equals 113. Kobe Bryant equals 113. What's the odds of these things happening? What's the chances? The two biggest basketball players to this day. And they also synchronize with the National Basketball Association. Man, come on, man. But come on. Let's look at another 113, right? The pandemic, right? 113. Well, come on. Once again, with the 113, 3 6 Mafia's Gangsta Boo from a possible overdose, when overdose equals 113. So they deceiving you.
They always say it's an overdose.
They're deceiving you.
Most of the
Is it the
time.
cause of death that's the deception? Or is it the death in its entirety? Once again, I guess we'll never know. We don't see these people. But I tell you what, it's by the numbers. It's a ritual. It's a sacrifice. Regardless.
It's
Come on. Now, once again, if we take his birthday before the death, we get 50 weeks and 4 days, just like how she passed away on a Sunday. When Sunday equals 504 in Sumerian. Yeah, that's the skull and bones on his neck. Interesting. But come on. Now, once again, with Sunday, it's interesting that they say that she was found deceased on her porch, when porch and Sunday are synchronized. Let's take that number 21 for a second. I know the number that's sticking out to you already, but first, let's talk about the 21 first, because it's interesting that she passed away exactly 21 weeks after her birthday on the porch on a Sunday, which both equal 21. Now let's talk about the other number that stuck out to you, right? The number 33. So now here they are showing you that it was a Masonic ritual. And to prove that this was another ritual for the Freemasons is because
she used to go crazy though.
Gangsta Boo passed away 147 days after her birthday, just like Freemason equals 147 in the English language in reverse. This was a Masonic ritual. This is all these people do, is clockwork. It doesn't stop. I'll always have something to do. I'll always have something to talk about. But come on.
What? You getting deep, boy. Getting deep.
Right? Now let's hit on 3-6 Mafia, right? Where they putting the 666 right in front of you. One eye symbolism, right? Half truth, the half lie. And then he's giving you the devil horns in the cover. But more importantly, with that 666, if we take DJ Paul's real name, Paul Beauregard, we get 666. Just like, interesting enough, Mark of Beast
Beauregard, bro,
equals 666. This was more strategic than what it looks like. This is way more strategic than what it looks like on the surface. So you got to peel that thing back and see what's really going on. And this is what's really going on with these folks. These folks is handpicked to do the things that they doing, to spread the frequency that they spread, to spread the evil that they spread. But come on. Right? Gangsta Boo even called herself the devil's daughter. So what happened? The devil came to collect. Like I said, we don't know if she passed away or not. Look at the scars. Look at the scars on her shirt. The skull. Look at this. You can't make this up, man. But like she said though, she said she was the devil's daughter. But it's interesting that if we take Lola Mitchell, which is her first and last name, it sync up with satanic. These people was hand chosen. It be deeper than the surface, man. 122 and 50. Most importantly, that number 122, right? Right? Now, once again, if we take that first studio album, yes, we understand that she was not on this album, but we understand that it's bigger than her because it started with these guys, and that's who the ritual is connected to. Now, if we take the day that this first studio album was released, May 30th, 1995, Lola Mitchell passed away 331 months later.
I'm sitting here looking at it.
Another prime number. 331 is the 67th prime number. Just like Lola Mitchell, Satanic, and Blood Sacrifice. We get that Lola Mitchell and that Satanic connection just like we did in the beginning. Right? Now let's talk about Skull and Bones. Lola Mitchell, what do you know? What do you know? Lola Mitchell and Skull and Bones are both synchronized.
And it's the reflection in the reverse cipher.
More importantly, with the number 76. Just like how she passed away 7 months and 6 days before her upcoming birthday. Just like Skull and Bones equals 76. This was a Skull and Bones ritual. It's going to be a lot of sacrifices.
They go that Skull and Bones again. So what y'all think, man? I don't know, bro. Kinfo be cooking. Shout out, call me Kinfo, bro. Y'all go subscribe to his channel, man.
First, that you bought seats in the right section. So check Allstate first.
I don't know, man. That is crazy. Yeah, you know, let me skip the ad. What's going on out here? Oh, there we go. Oh my God.
Watch and see. Watch and see.
That ain't going crazy, bro. They're going crazy. Yeah, they was going crazy. Research on all their channels, they be dropping gems, man. But yeah, Pearl Up family, appreciate you for tapping in. You already know, I'm gone.